Hey y'all, and welcome back to Brit Reviews It All. Today I am going to be talking about Chucky, the TV series. Yes, I am a week behind, but I'm trying to get caught up. So I am on episode 3. Once I finish this episode, then I'll go and watch the fourth one. I didn't want to get confused with all the information that they give us and the things that happen in the episode. So I have not watched episode 4 yet. This one is titled Jennifer's Body. I did make notes. I made my notes last week, so we'll see how I get through this video. So it is airing on TV, from my understanding, on Wednesdays, but you can watch it on Peacock on Thursdays, which is how I have been watching it. So yeah. All right. So this particular episode, I feel like it was the more of kind of catching us up to the current state, to the current time of where they are, which is where Chucky has infiltrated the White House. He's a part of the White House now, which is great. So this episode was really needed, and I would say do not skip the episode because it helps put the pieces together as to how he even ended up in the freaking White House. It answered questions. So this is a key episode, episode 3. All right, so we start off from the ending of the last season where Chucky pretended and dressed up like the Tiffany doll, but it was not the Tiffany doll. It was actually Chucky underneath. And so he was pulling off and coming out of the clothing or whatever, the disguise. He was getting ready to take out Jennifer Tilly, or Tiffany Valentine. And it's the Belle doll. I'm sorry, they got too many names going on, so it's very easy to get them all mixed up. So it was the Belle doll, but he was coming after Tiffany, which that's who it is. It's not Tiffany is stealing Jennifer Tilly's body, right? So was coming after her, and then in the midst of that happening, the police bum rushed the hotel room I think they were in. I think it was in the hotel room. Bum rushed the hotel room and got Jennifer Tilly, aka Tiffany Valentine, and took her to jail. As they're doing that, going off into jail, we saw Anika, who was there. Mind you, Anika has a vendetta, and we totally understand why, because Tiffany is just as crazy as Chucky is when it comes down to whatever she feels she needs to do, right? So she did Anika in because Chucky was in Anika's body. Now, Anika sees Chucky and sees Caroline and takes off after them, right? So now, mind you, these two, a little child and a doll, is running through the streets of freaking New York, and you see a person in a wheelchair, which is Anika, going after them, trying to get them, right? Trying to get to Caroline. Now, the only way that they were able to actually get away from her, because she is in a wheelchair, they went to go down the stairs to get onto the subway, right? Anika she wouldn't have made it. So they did have a moment where they were able to stop and talk to each other for a second. And with that being said, that's how they got away from Anika. Okay, so Anika knows that Chucky and Caroline are together somewhere. They don't know where, but they are together. Now, I'm going to be jumping back and forth because what's going to happen is they're going to have it to where we're going to be seeing what's going on with Chucky and Caroline and how that led us up to the White House. And then you're also going to see what's going on with Tiffany Valentine, because remember, she has been arrested. She's going to jail. Now, Chucky and Caroline, they get away, like I said, and they were able to, Chucky actually was for the cab. They get in the cab. So why the guest star appearance on this particular episode was Kenan Thompson. So he's the taxi driver, and he's like thinking that this is one of those very, I don't want to say animatronic type dolls or whatever, That's what Caroline has. And mind you, they're back there having a full-fledged conversation, talking about, everything. And Keenan is just like, okay. Now, Chucky gets to talking crazy to him. He's like, I'm gonna pull this cab over, which I could not understand for the life of me why he literally pulled to turn down a freaking alleyway. That made no freaking sense. Boo, you should have hopped your tail out the car right on the street. Okay? So with that being said, Chucky found an umbrella in the back of the cab and used that to get rid of Keenan. And when I tell you, that was gruesome. Very gruesome. And I mean, shoved that umbrella so hard down his mouth, down his throat, his esophagus, just down there, and then opened it, and then just stuff just went everywhere. It was insane. And Carolyn, that little girl, she's gonna need some help. Okay? Because basically Chucky is grooming her, and it's basically grooming her to become just as much of a psychopath as he is, right? Okay. Now, we also get to see where Chucky catches up with Andy. Andy, he thinks he's done what he needed to do. Chucky is no longer living, and so he is relaxed. He is chilling. He ain't looking over his shoulder. Next thing you know, Chucky has found him and basically injected him with something, had him on the bed, and was able to just stab him who knows how many times. I mean, when I tell you gruesome, stab with face everywhere, chest everywhere, just got with him. Now, I'm a little bit confused on this part because we saw all of that, but then we saw Chucky wake up and he was laying in the bed. Carolyn was in her own bed and Chucky was in his bed, and Chucky woke up. So I'm wondering, was that a dream or is that something that actually happened? Regardless, I'm sure we'll find out. Now, Chucky has woken up and he notices that some of his hair is on the pillow or in the bed or something. So he's like, what the heck is going on? Starts touching, realizing that it's some of more of his hair is coming out. So he goes to the mirror and is like really looking and his hair is coming out. So, of course, this scares him because Chucky's whole goal is to live, to never die, right? To never die and to cause mayhem and murder. Mayhem and murder. That's the best way I can put it. Now, he went to the book Voodoo for Dummies, and this book, Carolyn has been reading everything there is about in this book. Mind you, that is the same book that Tiffany was saying to get a hold of, to get it. Chucky took it. So he goes and reads, what to do, if you're aging. This is new information to us. This is new. We're going into deeper dive when it comes to Chucky. And first thing it said was to vacate the vessel. So I was like, well, here we go. That was short-lived. So Carolyn is asleep, so he tries to sneak and do the body transfer on Carolyn while she's asleep. And one, it didn't work, and two, she woke up in the process of him trying to do it. Now, when he did that and she woke up, she was like, I could have told you that wasn't going to work. So she's basically like, you're going to have to go and see a doctor. And I'm like, huh? She's like, you're going to have to go and see a doctor. Now, one thing we did not know is that Lexi, we know she's been going hard trying to find Caroline, going super hard. Excuse me, y'all. Going super hard trying to find Caroline, down to the point where she even went to go visit Tiffany in prison, which she didn't really get anywhere with that. Now, they showed us where they have Tiffany on trial, aka Jennifer Tilly. When I say either one, I'll try to be specific so we know at this point Tiffany is still in Jennifer Tilly's body. Now, she's on trial as Jennifer, but basically they showed us that everybody, Anika, Devin, Jake, and Lexi, they all testified against her in court. Um, Now, it is what it is because at the end of the day, yeah, you're in Jennifer Tilly's body, but you are playing, but you are Tiffany Valentine, and Tiffany Valentine is the one who committed those murders. You did. Um, Now, we get the scene where Chucky and Caroline back over to them. They go to this doctor's office, and I was just looking around. I'm like, what the kind of doctor's office is this? But apparently, this is a doctor's office that is exclusive to um, the more weirder cases. Non-judgmental, very much knows all about all of that voodoo stuff and all that kind of stuff. Like that is one of these kind of doctors. I mean, has a full-fledged doctor's office and everything. So it was not normal, which I thought was the strangest thing. Is Chucky sitting in the doctor's room and he walks in, looks at him, doing all of this, and I was like, okay, what's happening here? I'm like, okay, so clearly this is this kind of doctor's office. Okay, now, the doctor tells him that he was actually infected by Christian magic. So when they did a exorcism on him, that infected him. So that, and it's gotten really really bad. So it's really not much that he can do at this point. That's what the doctor is saying. Um, and basically, who Chucky worships, they have abandoned him, and the doctor is basically saying like, this is your last vessel. Like you're gonna die. You're dying. Now, he did tell him about a situation where someone tried to get past that. He has to make a huge sacrifice. Like this is literally leading into why Chucky chose the location that he did in the end. At the end of the in the end, why he chose the White House. Um, but the doctor told him that the person that attempted to do this, it wasn't successful. So but Chucky's like, I'm doing this, I'm gonna do this. So that is helping us to understand why Chucky is at the White House, right? Is the part of it. Now going back over to the trial, it's basically all over the place at this point. Um she's pleading insanity, which, because she's an actress, that really, 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 really hurts the case, I think. I think that the lawyer did the best that they could, but the jury, they just were not buying it. Um, Honestly, if I was one of the jurors, I think that I would have definitely looked into the case in its entirety, and I kind of would have been like, well, got to think of the situations as to what was happening. They should have looked into what the officers saw when they went to go get her. What did they see in the room? Like, she had a whole freaking Voodoo for Dummies book, all kind of stuff that they don't even, clearly they didn't see it. They didn't care. They was grabbing her and they got on up out of there. It was a lot of things that I think they should have probably thought about. Maybe looked, the house went up in flames. Yeah. So there goes that. I was going to say there's a lot of things that they could have saw. Anika, I mean, she could say what was done to her, but to them, it's Jennifer Tilly, and Jennifer Tilly went crazy. That's what I think. I mean, hey, that's what I think. But okay. But basically, she's pleading not guilty due to insanity. Now, again, like I said, jury didn't buy it. She literally was, found guilty of all charges. Now, going back over to Chucky Caroline, they have started their process for trying to find homes that he needs a really bad energy, and he has to do a massive slaughter, right? And so that's where it is. So he went to a home in Long Island. They researched it. Carolyn's helping with this whole process. I mean, they have like a really like loving, weird relationship with each other in a teacher and student type way. It's crazy, right? But in my mind, I'm like, if we all know when Chucky don't need you no more, you're done. He's gonna be done with you. Unfortunately, that's what that's how I feel. Um, just saying. All right. So the understanding is Chucky has to make 6 sacrifices. Okay. So Carolyn, she goes to, it's a whole Halloween party. Carolyn, she tricks the homeowner into being able to let her come in. She let her come in with Chucky. She basically, does this little crying, who's lost, and that's how they get in the house. And Chucky goes ham. And then he goes and intends to, sacrifice or whatever to who he worships. I'm not going to be saying all the names and all that stuff like that. Um, but nothing happened. So it was denied, right? Was denied. So he's like, okay, well, we need a house that's more evil. And so they have to go back to the drawing board to kind of think about a home that's gonna really give it. Now, this is where he pinpointed the White House. Um, and it's like, what big freaking establishment could you possibly think of that has a lot of dark, deep secrets and bodies? Um, you know, and I don't blame him for choosing this location. I really understand why. So he's like, that's the best place to go. So now they're making the plans and the arrangements. They're doing the research to figure out what's going to be his end. He has to get painted out because his hands start looking old up. He's got the, what is it, crow's feet, crow's something going on. So like, do his makeup and kind of make him look younger and make him look like a fresh young doll, right? Um, and so Carolyn gets sad, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But what I'm wondering is, where is Carolyn gonna be this whole time while Chucky's at the White House? Like, what? How is she around? Wondering, just wondering. Now the way that Chucky got in is befriending the youngest son. His name is Henry, and what he did was he made sure to be there in the same area at the gravesite where Henry's brother was buried, which is how he knew what name to use. So he called himself Joseph. Hi, my name is Joseph. Da, 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 da. You know, so this was the best way to get in. I mean, for the little boy, it was like, for him, it was like, oh, it's a sign. This is for my brother. And he instantly is smiling and he's happy. And the mom looked at the dad and was like, well, I've never seen him smile like that. It's been a while. So, of course, they allow him to come. Now, they go back to the White House after they visited the gravesite. And, of course, they have to take the doll and has to do the security check. They run him through the x-ray. Now, mind you, as Chucky's body is going through the x-ray, you could see rib cage like a small human. And they were just like, wow, the Secret Service was like, wow, they're getting really intricate, or something like that. But it is what it is. Oh, also, with Jennifer's sentencing, she was sentenced to death by lethal injection. I forgot about that. Um, so that was pretty much it for the episode. Like I said, it was it was more so of an informative episode, just to kind of help us to understand why he's at the White House, like, and it helps because I really was baffled. I'm like, how in the heck did he get there, and why is he there? We know now. We know. I love it. I love that they did it like that. And so now I'm curious to see what the 4th episode is going to be about. I may watch it today. I'm not sure. I'm kind of popping back and forth between series. I am in the middle of watching Goosebumps, the new Goosebumps series on Disney Plus. So we are going to see, which is going good, by the way. I'm just watching it, not taking notes. Review it. I don't know yet, but I will be back with Chucky episode 4. And I really, really think you need to watch this episode. You really can even watch episode 3, and then you can go back to episode 1 and then start from there and then skip to 4. So you can go 3, 1, 2, 4. Just saying. But yeah, So that was my review on Chucky episode 3. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. I should have put on some holiday, some Chucky gear for this freaking thing, but maybe I'll do that on the next episode. So we'll see. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful freaking day. Bye, y'all.